Hello students, this is Shweta Roy. This video is for chapter 4, part 2, Geography, Maths. In this video, we are going to discuss about components of a map. In this we have title, distance or scale, using scale on a map, directions, conventional symbols or signs, map legend. Also we will discuss about sketch, plan, difference between map and sketch, and difference among map, sketch and plan. So these are some of the important topics which we are going to cover in this video. Now we have an exercise so that we can check your progress till now. Take a map and a globe, study the both and compare them. Discuss the importance and limitations of the map and globe. Which one is better option to study the country and its various features. So you need to do this exercise. Also you need to prepare a chart of various kinds of maps. Also write down their meaning. Now we will discuss about the components of a map. So to read a map, we should understand first the components of a map. So the basic components or features of a map are title, distance or scale, using scale on a map, directions, conventional symbols or signs, map legend. So these are the components of a map. So the first component of map which we have is title. So all the maps have a title, and by reading that title the readers can understand what is that map is about. So when you will look at the top of a map, you will find a title, and by reading that title you can easily understand that what is that map is about. Suppose a map is having a title, Physical Map of India. So that means that map is going to show the major physical features of India like mountains, plains, plateaus, etc. So like this you can understand by reading the title of the map that what is that map is going to tell you. Now here we can see a map. Now when you read the title of this map, you will find that map is it is written India major national highways. So you can understand by reading the title that this map is going to show us the major national highways of the India. Next we have distance or scale. Now in a map the distance on the ground is represented by a scale. So if in other words we say maps are drawn at reduced scales. As you know, the areas are very large, and we cannot just make the map in the same way as it is on the ground, because that much large areas will very large piece of paper, and that is not possible. So the distance which is on the ground is decreased, and then it is according to scale it is made. For example, a scale of a map is 1 centimeter, but actually on ground it will be 5 kilometers. So this means 1 centimeter between 2 points on a map corresponds to a distance of 5 kilometer between the same two places on the ground. So like this, map scale compares the size on the map with the actual size of the map. So when we go for a definition of the scale, the definition is a scale is a ratio between the actual distance of the ground and distance shown on the map. Now on the basis of the size of scale, maps are classified into small scale maps and large scale maps. So the map that use small scale show large areas of the earth are known as the small scale maps. In these maps, small scale is used, like 1 centimeter equal to 100 kilometer. Now these types of maps, small scale maps, will give the little detailed details about a large area like continents or countries, because in 1 centimeter it is showing the very large area. It is showing approximately 100 kilometers of area in 1 centimeter, so you can understand it will give a very little detail about that area. Now the maps which is shown in the atlas are based on small scale. Now we have seen the map of India, that was also a example of small scale map. Now large scale maps. So the map that are created by using large scales are called the large scale maps. So in these maps, small areas are represented on a large size map, and the purpose of these maps is to show a large amount of details about a small area. Now in these maps, large scale is used, like 1 centimeter equal to 100 meters. A village or city map is a large scale map. Here you can have a look of large scale map. You can see more detailed information in this type of map. Our next topic is using scale on a map. Now scale on a map can be shown in different ways. So we have different ways to show the scale on a map. First is by a statement or verbal scale. Now in a verbal scale, the unit is mentioned verbally. For example, 1 centimeter is to 50 kilometer. And this is also called the statement scale. Second is by a representative fraction or RF. Now in this method, the ratio is represented as a fraction, like RF is equal to distance on the map by distance on the ground. For example, RF equal to 1 by 50 lakh. So here the numerator 1 represents the map distance and denominator 50 lakh represents the ground distance. Now by a graphic or linear scale, in this method the distance of map is shown with the help of straight line. Now that is divided into two division. The linear scale is divided into two division, that is primary and secondary division. The straight line is divided into parts, that is called a primary division, and primary division is further divided subdivided into secondary divisions, and the scale also gives the values of corresponding ground distance. You can see. So you have three ways of representing the scale on a map: by a statement, by a representative fraction, which is RF, and by a linear scale, which has primary division and secondary division. Now this scale remains true even after the reduction or enlargement of the map. If the map is reduced or map has been enlarged, in that case also the scale will remain true. Now we have a do you know section. Now the first map book was published by Flemish map maker Mercator in the 16th century, and he called his first map book as Atlas. The science of making map is called cartography. Now Claudius Ptolemy, a Greek cartographer, is known as the father of cartography. Greek geographer is known as the father of cartography. Now a cartographer is a person who draws maps. The first map was made in Iraq in 4300 BC, and it was made on a soft clay tablet, dried and later baked. You can also see the picture of Claudius Ptolemy and Gradus Mercator. Next we have directions, and directions are also very important component of the maps. So you can take any of the map and you will find an arrow printed on the right hand corner of the map. Alphabet N is written above the arrow, and this arrow is called the north line. And this shows the north in the map. Now once you know the north, you can easily find out other directions such as east, west and south. So in the opposite of the north you will have the south, and in your right hand side you will have the east. In the left hand side you will have the west when you are facing towards north. Now the directions are of two types: cardinal directions and intermediate directions. So in cardinal directions we have east, west, north and south. These are the cardinal directions, and these are also called cardinal points. These directions intersect each other at right angle. Now directions which is situated between two consecutive cardinal points are called the intermediate directions. So you can see in the second picture we have northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest. So you have the cardinal points, cardinal directions, north, east, south and west, and in between you have the intermediate points or intermediate directions. Now, do you know the instruments to find out the directions? We have magnetic compass, and it is used for finding the main directions. Now, needle of the compass always points to the north-south direction. So, the arrow of needle that is pointed towards the north has a point embedded on it, and a compass needle always points to magnetic north. Now, this type of compass is mostly used by the mariners and seamen to find directions while sailing. And the compass always, the compass needle always points towards the north. Next, we have conventional symbols or signs. Now, the symbols that are used all over the world in various maps to show different features are known as the conventional sign or symbols. We have so many features like mountains, forests, valleys, roads, rivers, lakes, settlements, etc. And they cannot be shown as such on a map for a lack of space. As we already discussed, we cannot show it as large as it is really on the ground. We cannot show them same as ground on the paper. So to show these features, geographers used certain letters, shades, colors, pictures and lines as symbols, and that are internationally approved. So these symbols give a lot of knowledge, a lot of information in limited space, and with the help of these symbols maps can be drawn easily and are simple to read. So here we have some of the conventional symbols like railway line, roads, metallic, unmetallic, boundaries, international, state and district. You have river, tank, bridge, temple, mosque, well, canal, church, chhatri, post office, post and telegraph office, police station, settlement, graveyard, tree, grass. So we have some of the conventional symbols which help us to make to draw the map easily and to read it in a simple way, and they are internationally approved. Next we have legend. So map legend explains the symbols used on a map, and it is called a legend because it tells the story of a map. A map legend is also known as the map key because it unlocks the meanings of various symbols used in a map. Now legends save a lot of space because it is small and it gives more information. It makes the map clearer and easier to read. Now in a legend, different maps may use different symbols. Colors also play a very important role in map making or map reading. In some maps, the relief features like hills, valleys, plains, etc. are indicated by a scheme of colors called layer coloring. And the colors used to show relief features are light blue, which is used for shallow water, dark blue, which is used for deep water, color green is used for plains, brown is used for mountains, yellow is used for plateau, and white is used for snow-capped peak. Next we have sketch. And a sketch is a drawing mainly based on memory and spot observation, and that is not made on scale. Now these sketches may help a person to reach an unknown place. Here you can see a sketch of a neighborhood. You can see many of the important informations given in this, but remember, sketch is not made on scale. Now, to understand the importance of the sketch, we have an example. Like you have to go to your friend's school, but you don't know how to go, you don't know the way. So your friend may make a rough drawing to show the way to his school, and in the sketches the person who draws them gives the distance and directions. Now what is the difference between map and sketch? So maps are drawn on scale and are perfect or accurate too. But when a rough drawing is drawn without using any scale to show some locality, area, colony, or to show the route to our home, to a new person, that is called sketch. So map are perfect and accurate. They are drawn on scale, whereas sketch is rough drawing. They are not made on the scale. Now we have plan. A plan is a drawing of a small area on a large scale. For example, the length and the breadth of a room that cannot be shown in a map. So these are basically drawing of small areas, and this gives us very detailed information because these are the large scale maps. So what is difference among map, sketch and plan? So we cannot draw all the building structures in map or sketch. In map only important features may be drawn with conventional symbols, and these symbols represent the important buildings, roads, railway lines, etc. But if we want to know the details of a particular building interior, that is not possible in sketches. It is only possible in a plan. So a plan is a small drawing showing details of a site. Now an architect designs that layout of a building. In this layout or plan, they mention the location of car shed, bedroom, drawing, guest room, and size of every room is also mentioned in that. And as per the plan, the building is constructed. So you can see the plan is mainly used in to build the buildings. Now we have some questions so that we can check your progress. So first question is, what are the basic components of the map? Second, take a map and locate the cardinal directions on it. You can use magnetic compass to find out these directions. Third is, take a physical map of the world and find out the conventional signs and colors used in the map. So you need to do this exercise. Hope you all understood all the topics taught in this video. Thank you.